After a lot of research trying to find an oven that was more than just a pizza oven, came across a company called Four Grand-Mère based in France. And so their main characteristic is that they are the only company that makes a true brick oven. So those are hand-laid bricks to shape the dome, but it's a low dome design. And so instead of having a dome that is going to be pretty much the radius of the floor of the oven, so if you have a 48-inch oven, your dome is not going to be 24 inches. It's going to be a lower dome. You're going to be at about 10 and a half, 11 inches. And so what it does is that the oven is really efficient. So you burn about half the wood, floor stays hotter, and your pizza are going to cook perfectly on the floor of the oven. You don't have to pick up the pizza with the peel and bring it to the top of the oven where the flame is just to finish cooking it. With those low dome ovens, the pizza is going to cook perfectly on the floor. And also when you get busy, even if you have a lot of pizza going, it's going to be easier to properly cook the pizza because you don't have to bring them to the dome. You don't have to be doming the pizza. And also your floor is going to be staying hotter because the flames runs closer to the floor. So you can cook more pizza within a normal size oven. You don't have to be cooking on half of the floor of the oven. The other characteristic is going to be the durability of the oven. To build this oven, they use all natural refractory clay to make the floor tiles and to make the bricks for the dome. So that clay is harvested out of the ground and it's already refractory. The clay is extruded at fairly high pressure. And so what it does is that you have a brick that is really dense, that holds the heat extremely well, that slowly returns the heat, but also that is really durable. So even on the floor, even if you use the oven commercially, cooking 365 days out of the year, lunch and dinner, we still do a 3-year warranty. Again, we've been in business for a little bit over 12 years now. And to this date, we have not replaced a single floor tiles on the commercial oven. So it's just to say how durable clay that is used to make the floor tiles is. And same thing for the dome. We do a 5-year warranty on our commercial ovens for the dome. And to this day, we have not had to replace a single brick in the dome of the oven. We also make sure they're extremely well insulated. So we're going to put 4 inches of calcium silicate under the floor of the oven. And then over the dome of the oven, we're going to put 5-6 inches of something called super wool, which is high heat insulation. And the main advantage is that you can fire the oven all day long. You can put your hand on top of the oven. You are not going to feel the heat. So not only if you have a tiled oven, you're not going to see any cracking on the tiling, just because often it's a heat issue when you see the cracking, but also we're going to fall back on the efficiency of the oven. You're going to burn a lot less fuel than it is wood or gas, and that's going to be making cooking in the oven a lot easier. It's easier to train your staff. It's easier to get a consistent result. Overall, it's going to be a better experience. Part of the value that you get with the oven is going to be the quality. For residential use, we're going to do a 10-year warranty for the oven. When it comes to commercial use, we're going to do up to 5-year warranty. And that's one of the best warranty that you can find in the brick oven industry. And this is because we know that we have a really good product that is really well made. For example, the brick, again, for the floor and for the dome are extruded, so they are a lot denser and are more resistant to the high temperature. In the refractory concrete that is used on the dome of the oven, we're going to put stainless steel fibers to reinforce that concrete and improve the durability of the oven. In terms of insulation, we're only going to use the best materials. For the floor, we're going to use calcium silicate. Not only it's a great insulator, even at high temperature, but it's also compression resistant. So even if it's on a trailer that is bouncing up and down, your insulation is not going to compress under the weight of the oven. For the dome insulation, we're going to use something called super wool, which is a type of insulation that is called non-RCF. So often in high temperature type of insulation, there are going to be some materials that are not really healthy that you don't want to be breathing. So we make sure that the insulation that we provide doesn't have any of those materials that could be toxic for anyone, on top of being one of the best insulation for wood-fired brick ovens. One of the main advantages of the oven is also going to be its efficiency. A low dome design oven like the one behind me is going to burn about half the wood or half the gas, in general half the fuel, compared to the high dome design ovens. Not only when the oven is heating up, but also when you're cooking, because we insulate the oven really well and we have that double door system that comes standard with all of our ovens. You're going to retain twice as much heat overnight. So the next morning, if you need to refire the oven, you are not going to have to spend as much time and of course burn as much fuel to reheat the oven. Another great advantage of working with us is going to be our customer service. The satisfaction of our customer is extremely important. Our reputation is everything, and we make sure that every customer who decides to work with us get one of the best customer service experience in the industry. So you call us, we're always here to answer the phone, but it is small or big question. We're always here and make ourselves available to help you with any questions you may have.